Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today to discover what's new with Celestial Cruises. We are excited to learn all the new things that they have to offer in 2024. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I'm the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA, and I'm going to quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The webinar will run for about 45 to 50 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and the Celestial team will answer them during the presentation, as well as get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Elena Rodriguez. Elena comes to Celestial after beginning her career in the hospitality industry at Royal Caribbean, and most recently spent 20 years at Princess Cruises, gaining unparalleled experience in the cruise space, while also establishing herself as a respected business development executive. Elena joined Celestial as the Director of Business Development North America, widely known for collaborating in cross-functional teams, building strong relationships. She will manage a team of highly motivated business development managers across North America. Elena lives in Keller, Texas with her family, where she enjoys reading, traveling, and is passionate about eliminating stop food insecurity in the world while volunteering to bring awareness to this through Grace Food Pantry in Grapevine, Texas. And with that, take it away, Elena.
Thank you, Joanna. And thank you, everyone, for joining me today or joining us today. The Celestial story is bright, and we have set forth on an adventure, and it awaits you as well. Today, we're going to explore Greece, Europe, and the Arabian Gulf and beyond for 2024 and 2025. But first, I want to talk a little bit about why Celestial. Hey. Or why book Celestial? The first is destination immersion. And when I take you through the itineraries here in just a few minutes, you're going to see the amount of port time that we actually have. Flexible travel, authentic experiences, and our small to mid-size ships. Our choice of fares, when booking and looking at what you're going to choose for a customer, it can be a little bit complex, but we at Celestial have decided that we try to minimize that friction and try to make it as simple as possible. So we have two fare types. One is the Celestial experience, which includes your accommodations of your choice, onboard dining in the main restaurants, select drinks with meals such as house wine, draft beers, juices, filtered coffee, and tea. Our onboard entertainment, $80 in a shore excursion discount in the form of an onboard credit provided to you, which you book those excursions in advance, interestingly enough. It includes all port charges, or as they are typically, as you're typically accustomed to hearing about them, taxes, fees, and port expenses, and gratuities. We also have the Celestial Plus experience, which is just a plus up from the experience. It includes your accommodations, your onboard meals in the main restaurants, plus a 25% discount in our specialty dining areas, Grill Seekers, and Pink Moon. We have an enhanced drink package with select cocktails, an enhanced selection of wines and spirits, draft beers, sodas, juices, etc. And then our onboard entertainment, $160 in a shore excursion discount. Your port charges or taxes and port expenses and gratuities, as well as Wi-Fi for an hour per person each day. The one highlight that I want to highlight here is that we do not have non-commissionable fares. So you actually make commission on everything you sell minus the port charges. So that's what's in it for you. And what's in it for your guest is a great experience. So simple and flexible fares. Our booking policy is there's a low booking deposit of $300 per cabin or $600 per suite on a 3 and 4 night sailing, or $600 per cabin or suite on a 7-night cruise. You book now and you pay in full at 60 days prior, and you have the freedom to cancel up until 90 days prior to sailing. Recently, we have won. Sorry about that. I'm having a little challenge with the transitions. We recently won the Solo Travel Awards for Best Cruise Line for Solo Travelers. And why is that? Well, more and more people wish to travel solo, and we offer a reduced single supplement on all of our excuse me, on all of our categories. Interior pay 30%. Outside staterooms pay a 50% supplement, and our suite supplement is 75%. So we embrace the solo traveler. We know more and more people are traveling on a solo basis, and we create a warm and inviting hospitality on board so solo travelers can get to know not only our crew, but other guests on board. And if you like to travel in groups, well, we also have a group program for you as well. And more people wish to travel in groups because they feel more comfortable traveling to exotic places in the form of groups. So what does it take to form a group? Well, it's 8 cabins, 16 guests. Excuse me. Your 17th guest, you have a tour conductor credit. We also offer GAP points, group amenity points or GAP points in various quantities based on availability, and you can choose to use those GAP points in a variety of ways. One is to select additional amenities on board to enhance the group experience, or you can take your GAP points and move your guests from the experience package to the Experience Plus package, which is a savings of approximately $300 per person. Bear with me just 1 second. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Celestial Discovery. The Celestial Discovery, we just launched her this past Friday. She's absolutely stunning. She's 1,260 guests, 633 staterooms, 62 balconies. All of the staterooms are nicely appointed with nice, fluffy, luxurious beds and soft blue hues to make this a warm, inviting home away from home. And then for some of the public spaces, here you have the Star Lounge, which is the bar that is shaped like a star with a band stand and a great dance floor. And there you have a view of our casino on board. Now let's talk a little bit about the itineraries. The Discovery does 3 and 4 night sailings that we call the iconic Aegean. The 3-night cruise, and you can see here the immersion portion of the itinerary, you can see that we don't have any at sea time at all, basically. We leave Athens at 1 o'clock. We arrive in Mykonos, where we're there that same afternoon until late into the evening. The following day, we're in Kusadasi, as well as Patmos in the afternoon. You're also in Crete from 7 to noon, and then in Santorini on Sunday. So you get 2 ports each day, and then back into Athens. The 4-night itinerary is a little bit more laid back, if you can call this laid back. It's Athens to Mykonos, again the same day, Kusadasi, Patmos, Rhodes, Crete, and Santorini. And we do that from April through to November. And then let's talk a little bit about the Journey. The Journey is also a new ship to us. She is 1,260 guests, 630 staterooms, of which 149 of them have private balconies. Again, they're all very nicely appointed. This happens to be an inside stateroom with that is 182 feet, and it's lovely. It's actually very well appointed, as well as very spacious. Here's an outside stateroom, and it's 204 square feet. Here is our Junior Dream Suite, which is a balcony stateroom. It has a bed, it has a small sitting area, and you can see there that it has a private balcony with 2 seats. This is our Stargazer Suite, 944 square feet with a bedroom and a private sitting area, as well as a dining room that you can see there. Now the ship is also lovely, and this happens to be our midship pool. You can see there that it has what we call a magrodome, which actually opens and closes depending on the weather. And so you can enjoy a nice day in the sun with the magrodome open, or if it's just a little bit too cool like it was for us, the captain can close it, and you can still enjoy your time in the sun. We have the Thalassa main restaurant, where we have dinner every evening. We also offer breakfast. And here we have Grill Seekers, which is our specialty dining option, as well as Pink Moon, which is our Asian ramen fusion restaurant. And here we have Smoked Olive, which is our casual dining. However, if you have one of our junior suites or suites, you can actually dine in here and choose off of the main restaurant menu, or you can enjoy the menu offerings from Smoked Olive. Here you have the Martini Bar, which is very well attended on a nightly basis. And here is the Blue Bar. This happens to be our reception area, where guests can exchange money or book shore excursions. And then there's in the lower area, there's a nice seating area where people can play cards and dominoes and other things. Let's go to another video. Here we go. Okay, so if you have heard of Celestial or had any experience with Celestial at all, this itinerary is what we have been known for, the idyllic Aegean. And this is the itinerary that we do most of the year. And it calls on Athens, Thessaloniki, which happens to be or was the second largest city in Greece during ancient times. Kushadasi, which has Ephesus, the ancient ruins of Ephesus, Crete or Heraklion, Santorini with an overnight, Mykonos with an overnight, and Milos, and then back to Athens. Recently, we introduced the Heavenly Adriatic, which was so popular this past year that we have added several more sailings. It starts in Athens, it goes to Kefalonia with an overnight in Dubrovnik, Qatar, Montenegro, Bari, Italy, Corfu, and Katakolo, then back to Athens. If you've been keeping up with us a little bit, you may have seen the announcement in January that we are now going to start going to the Arabian Gulf. And let me run this video for you now. So we will be going to the Arabian Gulf this coming fall. This is the repositioning cruise, which I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on because I want to get right to the itineraries and of the desert days. This land is so rich in activity, culture, food, people. It's spectacular. And so we are going to be operating 7-night cruises out of Doha to Bahrain with an overnight in Dubai, Kasab, Oman, Cerny Bayas Island, where you can go on safari in the morning and be at the beach in the afternoon. Just absolutely spectacular. And the diversity of this land is huge. And then Abu Dhabi the following day, and then Doha. Now, this fall, the last two Grand Prix races of the season, and so if you have any Formula One enthusiasts in your customer base, these Grand Prix options may be just for you. We will be operating a 7-night sailing from Dubai to offer the Grand Prix on November 25th. And you can see there that we are spending 3 nights in Doha. So guests will have the ability to see the pre-qualifications, the qualifications, and the final race. And we will be offering Grand Prix tickets. And this is just to give you an idea of the location of our tickets. We have the main grandstand, the T16 here at this turn, and then the north. I'm going to run through these pretty quickly, but you will receive these and we will follow up with you with these opportunities as well. You will see here passes for the 3 nights or the 3-day pass at $506 USD per person. This is not per person per day, mind you. This is $506 for all 3 races. And here is a list of all of the inclusions. That's the main grandstand. If you have any Grand Prix enthusiasts, you will note that, or they will note that this is pretty inexpensive because Formula One racing and Grand Prix racing, the pricing tends to be very, very expensive. The 3-day pass for the North Grandstand is $380 per person. And the T16 is $253 per person. All of the tickets include free seating, Grand Prix Fan Village with live entertainment. It includes the concerts after the after the race that will be featuring international artists as well as Arabic artists. You'll have access to the food courts as well as the local merchandising outlets and transportation between the metro station and the circuit. And then there's taxi and Uber pickup zones as well. There is also an Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Again, this is the last race of the season, and we will be spending 3 days in Abu Dhabi. This is where we have the seats available to us for you to purchase for your customers. And I'm going to run through these pretty quickly because there's a lot of packages here. But you can see from the photos what they will see. And they range from $794 to $900 per person for the 3-day passes. Incredible. If you've never been to a Formula One race or a Grand Prix, this seems like the one to do. Now, you can also tie both of these together and do a 14-night inclusive cruise with the 2 Grand Prix, starting in Dubai, ending in Dubai. So Dubai, Kasab, Abu Dhabi, 3 days in Doha, Dubai again with an overnight, Kasab, Surbani Yaz, and then 3 nights in Abu Dhabi as well, and then going back to Dubai. And if your guests like to travel during the holidays and are looking for something new, exotic, and very rich culturally, we have the festive desert days, round trip Doha, and this is for our Christmas and New Year's sailings. Starting in Doha, going to Bahrain, an overnight in Dubai, Kasab, Oman, Surni Bayaz Island, Abu Dhabi, and Doha. And so how do you get your assets for to work with Celestyal? I encourage each of you to go to wave.celestyal.com, register, and you can pull down assets. Here you have our main brochure, you have our Venture Awaits flyer, and our group amenity program. We also have flyers which we update from time to time, and this gives you an opportunity. And then who's here to support you? Well, all of us are here to support you. To the left, starting with Brandon Townsley, he's our VP of North America. Myself, Elena, Director of Business Development. Scott Moore, Key Account Director. Cindy Berardi, Trade Support Manager. Sandra Jakovic, our Group Manager. Stephanie McDonald, who has been answering your questions during this webinar. Thank you, Stephanie. She is our Manager of Trade Training and Development and BDM of Canada. Taylor Henwood, our Business Development Manager in the South East. Kathleen Levy, our BDM in the Central Region. Richard Sandoval in our BDM in the West Coast. And then Chrissy Murphy, our Trade Support Sales and Service Executive, also has been answering your questions here while on the webinar. Thank you, Chrissy. And then Lauren Barreras, our Manager of Trade Marketing. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. And I want to open it up to any questions. Stephanie, Chrissy, any questions out there that we need to answer?
Hi, Elena. Thank you. Yes, there were quite a few questions, actually. One of
Awesome.
them was about the travel agent rates, and we kind of went past that slide a little quick, but I'm going to let everybody know that it is one of the handouts that we uploaded. There's actually 5 handouts that we put on here, and one of them is travel agent rates, as well as our brand essence flyer that will give you a lot of more details about us if you're not registered with us, how to go about doing so, as well as the key flyers highlighting the itineraries that we have. So I encourage all of you to please take a moment to download any of those handouts. And then for the videos, I had a few people asking for them. Those videos are all housed in wave.celestial.com. So any of those videos, if you want them for yourself, you'll be able to go in and download them from there as well. Let me see if there's any other questions. Just one quick sec. Chrissy, do you see any questions?
I do. While you're looking, I did want to say that if you have not registered yourself or your agency to do business with us, you can go to celestial.com and go to down on the bottom there and click register to do business with us and fill out the form, and we will add you to being able to do business with us. So would appreciate if you guys did that.
And then also at any time, you can always email insidesales@celestial.com, and our amazing trade support executives will get you all of the details and assist you with that and get you in touch with your local BDM as well. So let me see. I don't know that there were any other questions, just a lot of hellos. There's a lot of people from all over. Thank you guys so much for joining. Yeah, a lot of highs, more than questions. We did cover quite a bit. Let me see. Anything else, Chrissy, that's popped up that you see?
A question regarding dining, like vegetarian options, if you wanted to talk about that for a sec.
Sure, I'd be happy to talk about dining. So we have a number of dining options. We have the main restaurant, which is an a la carte menu. We do have a variety of choices. If any of you have been to the Mediterranean, you know that the Greeks as well as the Turks love their vegetables. We do have plenty of choices. So if you're vegetarian, we can accommodate you. If you're a vegan, we can accommodate you. So we do have, so that's in the main dining room. We do have our grill seekers, which is kind of our fine dining or specialty dining option, and that has a variety of different menu choices from both vegetarian to fish or meat selections. And then we have Pink Moon, which is our Asian restaurant, and that also has a variety of choices. But yes, we can definitely accommodate vegetarian and different dietary needs.
Perfect. Okay, I do see a few more questions. One says, unfortunately, they weren't able to see the presentation, but they could hear, and they're asking if we're going to upload the presentation on the site. We did have a little technical difficulty at the beginning, so I might re-record it, and then we will go ahead and do that for you so that you guys have all the videos and everything flow through. But yes, we will definitely put it up on the CLIA site with making sure that there's no glitches in the presentation for you. I've also been asked about, there's questions that have just popped up. Sorry about that.
That's
let
okay.
me see. Let's go
We've
through.
got
Okay.
we've got time, so it's okay.
We do for sure. Okay, so the next one was, will the Plus experience be available on every itinerary? So we have 2 main price points, the experience and then the Plus experience. And when you first book your cruise, the opening price is the regular experience, and you can always upgrade to the Plus experience. In fact, most people in North America end up doing the Plus experience because of all those additional amenities that you get, meaning the extra credit that you have for your shore excursions, the fact that you've got drinks all day with that. You've also got the 1 hour of Wi-Fi a day, which it might not seem like a lot when you think about 1 hour of Wi-Fi, but it is a significant amount of time because we spend most of our time in port. So when you're on board, that 1 hour, it is quite a bit of time. So most of our guests do end up upgrading to the Plus experience, which is awesome. Let me see, what other questions do we have here?
And as travel advisors, really what you want to encourage your guests, because it enhances their experience, and just upfront they're not paying any additional fees and what have you. So you want to, it's just a better guest experience. So like Stephanie said, most people in the North American market just upgrade to Plus directly.
Exactly. I did get asked, what are the prices like? So we're priced very similar to a contemporary brand, but we don't have upwards of 3,000 guests. We have 1,260. So it's very economical. And like, you're going into such a beautiful part of the world. Like I said, you're spending minimal amount of time on board because we are, if you look at the itinerary, in port so much, but very much you kind of have that feel of a more premium brand because there's less guests on board, but we're priced more like contemporary. And I believe Elena mentioned it, but it's worth repeating again. With those shore excursion credits, once the guests utilize that credit, if they pre-book the remainder of their tours, you're going to get commission on those shore excursions. So as long as they pre-book them prior to the cruise, they do need to utilize their credit prior to the cruise, but highly encourage everybody to book all their tours prior to, so that you, of course, get to get commission on those tours as well.
Right. One other thing that we pay commission on, if they book a pre-hotel or a post-hotel in advance with us, or you book it for them, or transfers, that is also something else that we pay commission on. So we take our relationship with our travel advisors very seriously, and we know that that's how you make your money. So by offering the best possible guest experience for your customers, and we want to reward you for that. So keep that in mind as well.
The questions are just coming in. A lot about that hour of Wi-Fi. So I'll let you know. So what I did when I was on board recently is that I would go in, I'd go online, I would download my emails because I was there working. Keep in mind, your guests hopefully are not. And then I would turn it off. I would answer my emails, and then I would turn it back on. It would send it out. And it's not use it or lose it. Like, if you don't use that hour today, it's going to roll into tomorrow. So you essentially have that bank amount of time for the whole cruise. And just to let you know, for an additional 6 gigabytes of internet, it's only 20 euros. And 6 gigabytes is going to give you anywhere between 9 to 12 hours of internet, depending on what you're using it for. So we have Starlink on board. So we have really, really fast internet, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because all of the blue water brands have gone to Starlink, but Celestial, even with 2 little ships, we do have Starlink as well. So we have invested in the infrastructure to make sure that our guests are connected as well.
Perfect. Just running through the questions one more time to see if there's anything that we missed out. Let me start back from the top and make sure we covered everything. I think we did pretty much cover everything, Elena, unless there was
Great.
anything else that somebody saw. A lot of great questions here. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
again, sorry for those that couldn't see the presentation, but we will definitely make sure that you have a copy of that you're able to view it with the videos and everything in there. Gotta love technology, right? You never know.
yeah. Well, I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedule to learn something new about Celestial, a brand that you may or may not have heard of. We're little, but we are a niche brand offering really tremendous value, with really great itineraries and an immersive experience. And a lot of people can say immersive, or say immersive, but you can see in our itineraries, we don't offer really any days at sea. So we really are an immersive experience into the destinations. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we look forward to getting to know each of you and serving your customers. Thanks.
And Elena, Stephanie, and Chrissy, this is Johanna again from CLIA. And on behalf of CLIA and all of our attendees, I want to thank you all for spending your afternoon with us and giving us this time to share all the exciting and new offerings that Celestyal has. And hopefully our agents will take advantage of all this information, use the portal and everything like that to really sell Celestyal to their clients so everyone can experience all those great things.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, I hope everyone has a good rest of the day, and we hope to see you all on the next webinar.
Thanks, everyone.